The Kansas City Chiefs just got a massive injury update on running back Isiah Pacheco and defensive end Charles Omenihu. Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy. I'm a local Kansas City-based content creator covering this Chiefs team on a daily basis. And the best thing you guys can do to support me and this channel is by hitting the like button on this video and subscribing for more daily Chiefs coverage. I will say that I am a bit under the weather, so do bear with me. But we just got some fantastic injury news about two stars on this team. According to Andy Reid, who spoke to the media today, both Isiah Pacheco and Charles Omenihu will play for the Chiefs on Friday against the Raiders as long as they don't have any setbacks. This is according to Adam Teicher on Twitter. Adam Teicher is ESPN's Chiefs reporter, and so I think this is a very good sign that both of these guys are going to suit up on Black Friday against the Raiders, which is just a fantastic thing for this team on both sides of the football, whether it's for the offense or the defense. I think that Charles Omenihu is going to bring that much needed pressure to this defensive line that they're in search of, because right now it's not coming from George Karlaftis and Mike Dana. And while I don't think that you have to rush either of these guys back, it's a good thing to get them in the lineup, get them on the team, and get them some game reps early on in December and late in November, so they'll be ready for the playoffs. Because right now, all we're trying to do is get these guys as active as possible, get them back to being at full strength, and do that before the playoffs. And I think that they're not going to rush Pacheco back, especially when you have Kareem Hunt and Pirine running the football so well. So he might only get 6-7 carries in this game against the Raiders, but that's better than no carries. It's better that he is playing in this game than not playing in this game. And Charles Omenihu will probably be similar to that. I expect him to play a little bit more than Pacheco, but they're not going to be super, I guess they're not going to be super urgent to bring him back. I still think that they're going to be careful and cautious with these players because they could change a game in the playoffs. Charles Omenihu got that strip sack in the AFC Championship game last year. It changed the tides of that game, and Isiah Pacheco has been phenomenal in the playoffs, and so the Chiefs don't want to bring these guys back in a meaningless game on Black Friday against a horrible Raiders team and have these two players get hurt again. So I do think they're going to be careful, but Isiah Pacheco and Charles Omenihu are going to play this Friday against the Raiders. And Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. How are you feeling about this news? Are you excited to see Pacheco and Omenihu return? I'm excited for both of these guys to return, but like I said earlier in the video, I think I'm more excited for Omenihu to return to the defensive line because the running backs have actually done a pretty good job of, running the football. Kareem Hunt has been a blessing in disguise, but outside of Chris Jones, who even he's struggled recently at getting to the quarterback, the Chiefs have not been able to force any pressure. And I think that the lack of Charles Omenihu made Brett Veach go out and trade for a Joshua Uche, made them pay Mike Dana in the offseason. Normally, I don't think that they would do that, but without Charles Omenihu, they thought that they needed to make a move to make this group better, and we haven't really seen those results pay off yet. So hopefully Charles Omenihu comes in, and probably not this week, but over the coming weeks where he gets more reps and gets back up to game speed, he's going to start contributing on a defensive line that is in dire need of some pass rush help. We know the Chiefs' defensive line can stop the run. They just haven't been able to get to the quarterback recently. Like in that last game against the Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young just sat back in the pocket and picked this defense apart on third down. And I think that that's another thing with the Chiefs' defensive back room being so hit or miss right now, with that number 2 cornerback spot being a glaring weakness on this team, it doesn't help that you can't force any pressure on the quarterback. That's just going to leave more time for either Joshua Williams or Najee Johnson or, Chamari Connor to get exposed. So bringing in Charles Omenihu, maybe not this week, but in turn, it will bring more pressure over time. So I think that that is a fantastic thing, and I'm just super excited to see both of these guys suit up. It's been a long time since we've seen either of them play, for the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are going to get their starting running back and one of their starting defensive ends back for this game against the Raiders. And the Raiders are a very interesting candidate because I was talking about the team yesterday. The Raiders are in a position where they want to lose to get a good pick in next year's draft class. All the Raiders fans want Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado, and they don't really have that pick right now. So I think that beating the Chiefs would actually hurt them in the long run. But with that being said, Antonio Pierce, the Raiders head coach, is going to have these guys ready to play. Max Crosby hates this team. Aiden O'Connell was a big part in why they beat the Chiefs on Christmas last year, even though I don't think he completed a pass in the second half. So you have to take the Raiders seriously because it is a divisional game. And for whatever reason, divisional games are just always close. So the Chiefs aren't going to blow out the Raiders, but I think they can win comfortably. I think with Isiah Pacheco and Charles Omenihu coming back to this team, they could put up 27 to 30 points, and I expect the defense to bounce back after having a pretty rough game against Carolina. I think if we see the Chiefs defense give up more than 25 points, we should all be very concerned. I understand that the Chiefs are the back-to-back reigning and defending Super Bowl champions, and the regular season doesn't really matter, and as long as they win, a win is a win. I understand that. But if the Chiefs defense, a defensive unit that has been one of the best in the NFL this year, if they give up 25 points to this Raiders offense that legitimately outside of their rookie tight end Brock Bowers doesn't have anybody else, there is nobody else on that offense that is worth their weight in salt. Like there's just no one that scares me outside of Brock Bowers. And, Brock Bowers is going to be interesting because the Chiefs have had problems stopping the tight end, but he's their only offensive weapon. They can't run the football. We have one of the best rush defenses in football. And outside of, I guess they got Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker, but those guys just don't scare me. I think Trent McDuffie and even Najee Johnson could have a kind of a get-back game. But I just think that if we see this defense give up more than 25 points, we should all be concerned because the Chiefs defense over the past 2 weeks has given up 30 and they've given up 27 points. 57 points over the last 2 weeks is a problem. This defense has not done that all season. They haven't given up more than, 30 points since the Super Bowl the Super Bowl 2 years ago against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I expect them to bounce back. I need to see the pass rush have a good game. George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, I'm looking at you. You guys are going to have to get home, get to Aiden O'Connell. I know George Karlaftis and Aiden O'Connell played on the same team at Purdue. I want to see George Karlaftis get the better of his old quarterback. I want to see that, and I think that he's going to come into this game highly motivated. But the Chiefs' defensive line is going to control this game. If they can get to Aiden O'Connell, they've got a good chance of just snuffing the Raiders' hopes out very early. If they don't, if they let him sit back there and find his wide receivers or Brock Bowers, it's going to be a long day. The Chiefs can still win, and I expect them to win, but it's just going to be another game that's way too close for comfort. So Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. What do you think of this upcoming Raiders game on Black Friday? And what do you think about the news that Isiah Pacheco and Charles Omenihu will play this Friday barring any major setbacks? And I don't think that we're going to get any major setbacks. They've practiced all week. They've been full participants the past couple of days. They're not going to miss this game. But I do think they're going to be careful with both of these players' workloads. They're not going to rush them back, and I think that's a very smart decision. So Chiefs Kingdom, that is all I have for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for more of the best Chiefs content on YouTube. I've been pushing stuff out each and every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, and the best thing you guys can do to support me and this channel is by hitting the like button on this video and subscribing for more daily Chiefs coverage. Go follow me on social media, Instagram and TikTok, KC_Sports Report, and Twitter at KC Sports Report. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video, and go Chiefs!